If you ask me, the problem of Nigeria is that the blood of the innocent people are crying on that country. The blood that was shed is crying every day. The only voice, hear this, sir, the only voice God hears is the voice of the blood. Nigeria will never escape what they did to the Igbo race. It takes a righteous one to cleanse us from what we have done as a country. So long as the blood is crying, injustice every day, Nigeria will never sit up. We will never come back to that position. We will not. We can't recover from it.
Hello guys, welcome to Hello African Podcast, where we tackle the biggest question shaping Nigerians' future.
Yeah.
So today I'm here with my pastor, Abel Success. In another segment, we are here. I don't know what about you. Are you with us? Please don't go, because Nigeria need to hear the truth. In this podcast, we don't we don't invite famous people, because it's a place of free speech for everybody. Because Nigeria and Africa, we need contribution of everybody. Your contribution counts. I don't know where you're watching from. Please be with us today on Hello African Podcast. My pastor, welcome once again.
Thank you.
Pastor, how was your day?
Day is great so far.
Really?
Yeah, it's been awesome. And then coming all the way to get here. The weather is a little bit cold today in Sao Paulo. And then I think we are approaching our winter.
Yeah.
And I like winter. I like the cold weather than the heat.
No, me, I don't like it. I don't like it. Well, anyway, Pastor, what is happening in Nigeria today is making, everybody's crying.
Yeah.
Because when you see a giant of Africa falling you start,
how are the mighty
falling? Then you start asking yourself, what is really wrong with Nigeria? Okay, Pastor, our question goes to you, sir.
Yes.
What is really wrong with Nigeria as a country? A country that the highest producer of oil in the whole Africa.
Yeah.
You understand?
In fact, if not that we are being surcharged by information on social media, Nigeria should be among the second, third largest oil producing countries in the world, because the oil that is being siphoned alone is more than the one that is declared with the federal government. So the oil that they steal from behind is more than the oil they put in record. And then if you add that up together, Nigeria is the largest oil producing nation in the world, if you ask me.
Yeah, Pastor, you're right, because even in the world today, I don't think because of the corruption and what is going on, Nigeria is down about 15 position,
right?
Yes.
In the world ranking.
In
the world ranking. Okay, now let me ask you. I think if you check the world ranking, maybe you will find some countries like Russia or Canada or US there.
Yeah.
If they produce that much, then we have no business with Nigeria. If America is ranking number 1 or 2 or 3, or in fact, if America is ranking to the 5th position of oil producing countries in the world, they have no business coming to Nigeria. Are you getting me? Whatever they can get for themselves, they don't look for it outside. So if you ask me, Nigeria is far above that number 15 where it's sitting down there. But they like giving us information that is never real, so they can surcharge us, they can keep us below. That's what they are doing. Imagine the oil that is being bunked out of Nigeria every day. Oh no.
Anyway, Pastor, let's go on. Pastor,
yes.
The country, Nigeria was the giant of Africa. The best military performance army forces in Africa.
Yeah.
Largest Christian organization in Africa.
Exactly.
Most educated people in diaspora.
Exactly.
Pastor, what is really wrong? What is really wrong? Because people need to know what is really wrong with Nigeria as a country.
It's a question that needs a breath down. Settle it down. And then ask yourself the reality of what the question entails. What is wrong with Nigeria? If you go around, okay, the few I can say, right? Let's take the Christian organization in Nigeria, for instance. Christ Embassy alone is the largest network in the world. Christ Embassy. Few days ago, Pastor Chris made that statement and said we have the largest network connection in the world, but we are not saying it. You'll be joking, you'll be kidding if you think he's lying. One of the richest pastors. If you check the senior pastors of Nigeria, from Reading, Living Faith, name them. They are the largest Christian organization in the world. Once upon a time, if a black man would have ever become a pope, I used to tell people, don't ever expect a black man to be a pope.
No, we don't.
The reason is because you don't expect a white man to come and be the DPR or the Ezemo of your
village,
shrine of your village. So you don't expect a black man to go sit there as a pope. If that was allowed, Cardinal Arins would have been a pope a long time ago. When it comes to embracing Christianity, we are top-notch. Professionals in different fields, intelligence, name it. Nigeria is top-notch. But guess what? If a foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do? This question, I'm going to be sincere about it, and I'm going to, without fear, touch the fundamental foundation that people don't want to touch. The truth that people don't want to tell. I am going to tell you today on this podcast. Beginning with my hometown. I am from Benue State. I am from the Igede extract, but born and brought up in Otukpo. And Otukpo is one of the hubs, the biggest transit hub for business between the north and the east or south of Nigeria. Let me use that word. Or let's say from the east. Because when you come from Makurdi into Otukpo, you must pass one federal road. It's called Commercial Road, Federal Road. It leads you to Enugu, to Ubolafo, to all the southern states. It's from there you go to Port Harcourt. It's from there you go to Lagos. It's from there. There is no other route. That's the only route towards that extract. So Nigeria is Otukpo is a transit hub, business transit hub. Very good one for that matter. The Igbos dominated that town right from the beginning when they were trading their business from the east to the north. They built houses, owned properties. Otukpo was more like their own town. Guess what? When the civil war happened, the Igbos ran away. They were driven out of Otukpo. Some were killed, murdered, with blood sprinkled on the floor. All over Nigeria, the Igbos were massacred. Blood flowed everywhere. And guess what? Those who left their properties, most of the houses today, not majority, most of the houses that are old houses, were built by the Igbos. But guess what? The Idomas inherited those houses. And they inherited it, took over, and began to live without even cleansing the land. If you go to Otukpo today, Otukpo is the worst city, worst town in the entire Nigeria. A town that produced a Senate president for 8 good years. We can't boast of road. We cannot boast of water. We cannot boast of security. Otukpo produced the best military generals. Major generals in the army. Otukpo produced them. I don't want to name them, but there are a lot of them. Guess what? The reason why the jihadis could not succeed to take Islam into the east part of Nigeria is because of Benue. Benue waged a war against Usman Dan Fodio. That was why they couldn't penetrate. And Usman Dan Fodio died instructing them to make sure they take over Otukpo. That is why you see all the trouble happening in Benue. They want to take over Benue State. If you ask me, the problem of Nigeria is that the blood of the innocent people are crying on that country. The blood that was shed is crying every day. The only voice, hear this, sir, the only voice God hears is the voice of the blood. I'll take you to the Bible. In Genesis, Cain, who is the elder brother of Abel, killed his younger brother. When he killed the younger brother, the blood of the younger brother began to cry to God. Whatever we do on earth, God is not interested. The only thing God hears is the voice of the blood, sir. Everything that has life today, the life comes from the blood. That's why if you're sick and you go to the hospital, the only test they carry is your blood. When they carry your blood, they can tell anything that is wrong with you. So the life of a thing is in the blood. When the blood is wasted, especially an innocent blood is wasted, it cries to God. and God will take vengeance. The moment came, Abel's blood began to cry, say, oh, my brother killed me. Vengeance. The blood was crying for vengeance. God heard vengeance. Guess what? God destroyed that earth. He placed a curse on Cain, destroyed the earth. At the point, he closed the world because of that voice that was crying. When it was time for Jesus came. They did the same thing to Jesus. Guess what? As the blood of Jesus was flowing on the streets of Jerusalem, he kept shouting, forgive them, for they don't know what they are doing. Father, forgive them. Father, forgive them. Because he knows if he cries for vengeance, God will wipe the earth. God does not forgive vengeance of the blood. When you kill an innocent one, God does not relent, but he will take vengeance. Except that blood is crying for mercy and forgiveness. That's the only time you can escape it. Nigeria will never escape what they did to the Igbo race. I am not from the Igbo extract. I am not speaking for the Igbo. I am not supporting anything the Igbo bears. I am supporting the reality of what is facing me as a Nigerian. Not as a Biafran, not as anybody else, but as a Nigerian. I am facing what is going on. The blood that was shed on Nigeria were blood of innocent people who were going on their business trade. They didn't kill anybody. They just wanted to make life for themselves and leave inheritance for their children's children. You came, killed all of them, collected all their properties, confiscated everything they had as wealth, and when it was time for you to settle them, you gave them 40 naira. Yet they have become so big again. That's to tell you something, that God is with them. God is on their side. So you don't treat them like that. Guess what, sir? When I saw Peter Obi came, it was the biggest opportunity Nigeria ever had to correct the error of what they did by killing the innocent people. Nigeria had the greatest opportunity with Peter Obi. I am not what do we call them now? The Labour Party. What do we call them?
PDP.
No. Labour Party. Peter Obi's party. There's something we used to call them.
Obi movement.
The Obi movement. There's another nickname.
Obedient.
I am not an obedient loyalist. I am a Nigerian loyalist, a realist. When obedient movement came, Nigeria had the opportunity to give Peter Obi the seat of power. I am not saying Peter Obi is the savior or the Christ, but that is a man with a political record without any corruption on his name. He says it. It takes a righteous one to cleanse us from what we have done as a country. So long as the blood is crying, injustice every day, Nigeria will never sit up. We will never come back to that position. We will not. We can't recover from it. God is holding it against us. God is sitting in heaven. He's not even watching all our talk. We pray more than anybody else pray. I told my church to stop praying for Nigeria. Last year, I told them, stop praying for Nigeria. Instead, start praying for yourself to live above the Nigerian problem. Because you can never help it. You can't help it. Nigeria is going through it. So you see, with that obedient movement, Peter Obi would have succeeded in crossing Nigeria from the spiritual path. I give you an example. When Goodluck Jonathan was the president of Nigeria, did you see what Nigeria was like? There was corruption, but everybody was fine.
Yeah.
The country was flourishing because when the righteous prosper, the city rejoices. Goodluck Jonathan would have been on that spiritual path to cross Nigeria from that trouble. But even though he's not a complete Igbo, but he's from the Igbo extract.
Yeah.
Peter Obi was just the person that I thought Nigeria will give an opportunity, even if it is one tenor for him to become the president, him as an Igbo person, and without any political history of corruption and all of that, would have been a good spiritual sacrifice to cleanse Nigeria from the blood that has been shed and is crying every day. Up till tomorrow, the blood of the innocent people are still crying in Nigeria. The blood is crying. And for anybody's blood that cries against an individual, God does not overlook it. Quote me anywhere. God hears the voice of the blood. And it's that blood that is working against Nigeria. If not, we have the best of everything. What do we not have in Nigeria? Ask me. What do we? Intellectuals? Economic value? Wealth? Are you talking about mineral resources that is deposited in Nigeria? Is it anywhere else in the world? Money and water? That's what some people say. And that's the truth. Money and water for real. But guess what? We will never get it correctly. Except an Igbo man An Igbo man, somebody like Peter Obi that has a record, a clear record of his political whatever, has no corruption around it. If there's another person like that, then that's the person that will cross us. When that person comes, then the Bible now says, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray. If that person now lift up the voice and say, oh Lord, we forgive Nigeria. From that day, Nigeria will flourish. Nigeria will flourish. Nigeria will prosper. Make we forget those prayers. We've been praying for 50 years. What has changed? 100 years prayers. What has changed? It won't change. Because it's not about the prayer. God is not interested in the prayer. God is interested in the foundation, because if the foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do? Yes, we have righteous pastors. We have righteous church members. We have righteous Nigerians. We have righteous religions. Yes, we have all of that. But we can't help it because the foundation is crying blood. And that blood is vengeance. Nigeria must forgive. When I mean Nigeria, the Igbos that were killed innocently must forgive. If you read the IBB history book that was launched sometime this year or last year.
It's this year.
Earlier this year, the book was launched. I had a privilege of skewing through some pages of that book. Did you see how he clearly came and stated that there was no coup? The coup was not from the Igbos, actually. Igbos didn't do anything. It was just a perpetual wickedness to carry out the assignment of their great-grandfather, Usman Dan Fodio. During the Civil War, it was Benue, in fact, Otukpo was the place they tried to penetrate. They couldn't penetrate. So who waged the war against them was Otukpo, my town. I come from there. Go and see how that town looks today. We don't have anything to boast of in that town. Everybody today is struggling in that city called Otukpo. Otukpo should be one of the big towns because it's a business hub that got exposed long time ago. But nothing is flourishing there. Nothing is moving there. Because the blood of the innocent is crying. The injustice done to them is crying. And until we visit that foundation, forget anything. You people should forget that thing you're practicing. We are building cadres and doing what? And calling it industries or... Forget it. Forget it. Nigeria needs to go back to the drawing board. We need to go back to the foundation. The injustice. If it's not dealt with, I beg to differ that we'll ever get better. Because even Jesus said, a kingdom divided against itself cannot stand. Let me tell you another thing. Nigeria, are you aware that Nigeria is divided? God created Nigeria and divided it by rivers. How do we know that God divides cities? It's by river. Yeah. River separates countries. Yeah. This river is River this. It bridges between one country and the other country. Yeah. That is how we know their countries. Yeah. Nigeria is divided as different countries. Yeah. The British came and built bridges to connect us. I know what I'm saying. Go to okay, look at from Benue, Kogi. That's where the confluence met. From the northeast, it came all the way from that area. What do you call that? Is it the Bauchi area? Separated itself from the Niger area, separated itself. It separated the countries to say north is north, east is east, west is west. The British built bridges and connected us and said people must remain one. Go to Nigeria today, does the Muslims or the Fulanis, do they behave like the Southerners? Do they behave like the Easterners? No. We are all different in our behaviors, different in languages, different in religious beliefs. But the British came and joined us. The British are the foundation problem of Nigeria. I can say it anywhere. But I don't want to blame them. The reason why I won't blame them is because if they had not intervened with the Islamic agenda, Nigeria would have been in trouble. Because the jihadists from the Kaduna Caliphate, they were in serious quest to colonize the whole of Nigeria and make it an Islamic state. So the British came and intervened. When they intervened, they went to the north and negotiated with the north to say, guys, okay, we are giving you, we'll connect you guys as one. You are one country now, but we will give you people the position of leadership. You will take the presidency for as long if you are in charge. That's why the Northerners believe they own the country as per political positions. They believe they own it because the British shielded it to them. That's the agreement. We can say agreement is agreement. So that's the agreement they had. So they gave it to them. Are you getting me? They came to the east and the south. They brought Christianity. Say Christianity is a religion of peace. You people should practice peace. With this peace now, start winning the north. So from the south, they started giving us schools, churches, and then we are sending missionaries to the north. We are sending people to go and die for nothing. We are sending prayers and Bible quotations to secure our borders. When Jesus came, where did he come to? Israel. If I'm correct.
No, you're right.
Jesus is a Jew from the Israel.
Yeah.
And we are practicing what Jesus said.
Yeah.
Is Israel using prayers to build their borders?
No way.
If they were using prayers, by now Israel is gone.
Yes.
Benjamin Netanyahu,
Yeah.
the former or present? He said the day Palestinians drop their weapon, there will be peace in the Middle East. The day Israel drop their weapons, there will be no Israel. Check it. The whole of Middle East is in shambles, but Israel is standing because you know why? They have the best military, whatever that govern their borders, so it's secured. And here we are praying for Nigeria that God should come down. God is not coming down. God is angry. The blood is crying against us. God is not happy. We must build our borders with weapons, secure them. And then we say, Boko Haram. Nigeria is one of the best economic soldiers in the world. We go for peacekeeping and we do you know how we dismantle the insurgents in other countries?
Sierra Leone,
Liberia, Guinea,
Kenya,
everywhere.
Ethiopia.
Nigeria is the first. And then we have some riffraff in one Sambisa forest, and they tell you that they don't know how to track them. So tell that lie to the gods. It will never be better.
So, man, as you're vibrating and every young man knows the pain
Of being in
Nigeria.
Sorry to cut you. I traveled to Nigeria recently. I went through Morocco, Air Maroc. I didn't want to mention the name, but I have to mention. I traveled through Air Maroc. Got to Morocco, and then the airport security that you pass their machines. I put my bag, passed my bag and my stuff, and then they control my bag. They didn't control the other person because the guy asked for my passport. When I gave him my passport, he controlled my bag to where my search. Nothing was in my bag, right? Every other person was going, but they controlled my bag. When I went there, he said, what's in the bag? I said, nothing. He opened the bag. He just closed it. He just opened it and then closed it. So he wasn't really looking for anything. Guess what he said? He said, money, give me money. I said, why? He said, you Nigerians, money, plenty money. You carry money, give me money. I said, excuse me? I don't understand what you're talking about. We Nigerians, money. Like, I should give you money for what job? He said, oh, go. So he understands that they can abuse Nigerians anywhere at any airport simply because you're a Nigerian. It's embarrassing to be a Nigerian and travel with a Nigerian passport. Yeah. I've been to many countries. Any country I drop it, either to immigration, either to custom, anywhere, they control you as a Nigerian. You know why? They understand that you are by being a Nigerian, you're either corrupt or you are something. You can just dash them money and just walk away. So that's how terrible. I'm just adding to when you say being a Nigerian at this time. It's terrible to be a Nigerian at this time. Believe me.
Anyway, but Pastor, what do you think that can be done? What is the solution of this problem of Nigeria?
I will respond to this. The solution of Nigeria. I think Hosea 4:6 or so. If my people who are called by my name. First of all, we have to be called by the name of the Lord, not by the name of a denomination, not by the name of a spiritual father, not by the name of religion. Because when Hosea was giving this instruction to them, remember there was no Christianity, there was no Islam. We were all the people of who? One God. It has nothing to do with religion, nothing to do with political affiliation, nothing to do with the church I belong to, and all of that. The solution begins with, if my people, be you a pagan, be you any religion. If you go to Abuja today, Abuja is the center capital of Nigeria. There's a big mosque called the Central Mosque, National Central Mosque. Opposite the mosque, to the other side, is a big cathedral called the Ecumenical Center for the Christian Organization of Nigeria. Yet, they are bombing Abuja every day. Yet, we are fighting ourselves. Yet, there is no solution. We are poorer than the poorest. So it is not about those things. If we all, I don't know if I have the power or the condition to influence the government of Nigeria or the leaders, if we will come under one umbrella, forget politics, forget religion, humble ourselves to know that we have a problem. And where did the problem come from? The foundation. If we will humble ourselves and pray and seek the face of God, seeking the face of God does not mean we will call one spiritual father that the other one will not rest. In fact, call anybody that is not even, does not belong to any church organization or Islamic organization. Call a normal person on the street that doesn't even belong anywhere. If that person will humble and offer a prayer on behalf of Nigeria, what did God say? I will heal from heaven. I will do what? I will heal their land. Nigeria's problem is the land that is cursed. I will heal their land and restore to them. So restoration will only come if we will come together to pray sincerely. If that will not happen, the original plan of God dividing Nigeria, let's do that. Let's accept that. Let's accept a referendum. Because the original plan that God had, if he split countries by rivers, Nigeria is not one.
It's three.
It's three different countries. Are you getting me, sir? Nigeria is three different countries. It's not one. That's the original formation of the country, as God forms the earth. But if the Britons decide to build bridges and harness us and unite us by bridges, go to River Benue and River Niger, where they meet at the confluence, is a tourist site that is so beautiful that anybody wants to see. I drive there sometime and I'm looking at the two rivers. One is red, one is blue. Beautiful. They don't mix at all. Hey, they don't mix. Go there as I'm talking to you. Anybody watching me, go to Lokoja right now. Drive through that bridge. The two waters, they meet, but they don't mix. Are you getting? It's one thing for them to meet and then unite. They meet, but they don't mix. You will see the red is reddish. You see the blue is blue. They separate themselves. That's to tell you that nature separated the country. And if they bridge us together, then we must see ourselves as privileged to become united. The North must see themselves as privileged to be part of Nigeria. The South, the East, every part of Nigeria must see ourselves as equal privileged people. That's what Nnamdi Kanu is crying for. I don't want to mention his name because it's not the topic. But those are little grievances that a few people, and that's what they are sitting on. Nothing else. Nnamdi Kanu can feed his family. Or he's not even in Nigeria by nationality. I think he's Britain also.
Yeah.
If he goes to Britain, he will not be hungry. He is comfortable with his family. But he's been abused with his rights. Do we have one higher Nigeria, another lower Nigeria? If that's the case, now divide the country. Now let's live our low life. Let the other one live the high life. It's not a must that we must all be united. If we can't see ourselves together as one, if President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a Muslim and married to a pastor, that means from his bedroom he has corrected an error. Are you hearing me? The wife is a Christian.
And he's
a Muslim, full-time practicing Muslim, full-time practicing Christian. If he cuts across this religious line, then he also has what it takes to unite us. But the problem is that politically, he has a different opinion. He has a different kind of mindset when it comes to politics. He plays his politics dirty. And if you play dirty politics, you will never be able to bring anybody together on the table with you. Up till today, some people still come and they blame Goodluck Jonathan's government. Are you hearing, sir? They still blame the past. What are you talking about? What do we have to do with the past? What are you doing about the future? You mentioned something about the future of Nigeria and the youth becoming. We don't have a future because our people are still living in the past. We are blaming when Nigeria was this, when during Goodluck Jonathan, during Obasanjo, during Yaradua, during Buhari. Why are we going back? What is happening to the forward? What is happening to the future? What is happening to where we are now and where we intend to go to? Why? So long as we are not seeing it from that lens. What's his name now? Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as long as he remains there, he can remain a life president in Nigeria. Nothing will change. If he doesn't find a thin line to unite politically and religiously and ethnicity, you are in power and you want to please the North against the East. You're already a father that made one choice and there will be war in your house. That's what we are seeing. You want to please the West and displease the North, there will be war. A father will never show his children a preference of one to the other, even if he has it. He hides it. Beginning with the president and his family, call for a national prayer, not based on centered on sentiment of religion and politics. If it means him handing over to an igbo as a president, so we can clear that foundation, he should do so.
Please the gods.
Please the gods of the land. The voices of the gods of the land is the voice of God. I cited an example before. Everything they did to Jesus, did you know what they did to that man, to Jesus? He was humiliated. The same people he healed their children. The same people he fed how many thousand? 5,000. The Bible recorded 5,000. It's above 5,000. The same people he raised their dead. They were the same people crucifying him. And that is why when I look at Peter Obi, no matter how good he thinks he is, the seat of Nigeria will never get to him. No matter how good Peter Obi feels he is righteous, Nigeria will not function with that vehicle. It's not just Nigeria. The world is not wired to like you because you are nice. The world will hate you because you are nice. The same people you fed yesterday will look at you the next day and stone you. That's what they did to Jesus. But while his blood, they flogged him. They flogged him. The skin will tear. Blood will gush out.
Naked
him, spite on him, insult him. If the reality of what they use, the stripe they use in flogging him, the reality of it is that he has all manner of sharp objects. So when they flog and pull it, flesh will follow it out. Blood will pour on the street of Jerusalem. And guess what? Oh, Father, forgive them, for they know not what he was doing. Did you know why God turned his back away? Why God couldn't see him? Because the blood was crying for forgiveness. And how can they be dealing with your son and your son is saying, forgive? Oh, God wanted to do something. God would have done something. God would have closed his head. God would have sent flood to wipe everybody away and carry his son from that cross and take to heaven. That's his beloved son, in whom his wife pleased, his only son. They were doing all of that to him. He couldn't behold it, so he turned his back. And Jesus said, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. Why have you forsaken me here? But you know, this is the reason why I came. Not my will, but your will. The moment he gave up the ghost, he went to hell. When they saw him coming in hell, what did Satan do? The angel saw him and said, who is coming so? The angel went ahead in Psalm. The angel was announcing. He said, hey, lift up your heads, O ye gates. Be lifted up, ye everlasting doors. The King of glory is coming in. Who is the King of glory? The one we just killed? He said, no, the Lord strong and mighty. In other words, he won the fight. At that time, God turned his attention away because the blood was saying, forgive. From the presidency, I beg your pardon, from the presidency to the House of Senate, it's not that evil they are perpetrating there and doing all manner of things and thinking they are leading Nigeria. Everybody who is either a senator today or a House of Rep member, a politician today, feel is a privileged position. When they get there, they insult the right of people. Nigeria will never function like that. Nigeria is rich, blessed. If we must find solution, it begins with the presidency. It begins with Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I am calling him today out. It begins with Bola Ahmed Tinubu. If you can cut across religious boundaries and marry a pastor as a Muslim, it means you have overcome one sentiment. Please do the same thing, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Do the same thing you did to conquer the religious sentiment. Do it on political bounds. Cut across the APC. Leave APC, leave PDP, leave Labour Party, leave any party. Get the people to humble themselves and pray sincerely. Seek the face of God. And you will see how prosperous Nigeria is. Nigeria is wealthy. Forget anything they are telling you. Nigeria is wealthy. When Goodluck Jonathan was there, there was more corruption even than now. Or maybe now than then. Either ways. But Nigeria was still very okay then. We will not get back to better ways, to victory ways, if we don't go back to the foundation. That's what I have to proffer as a solution. Let's revisit the foundation.
Okay, Pastor Success, thank you so much. What a wonderful discussion, man. I mean, Pastor, this is a very, is secret behind the success of Nigerian as a people.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. And
My pleasure.
I don't know where you're watching from. Please drop your thoughts. What do you think? Where are we going from here? What is the future look like?
What does the future hold?
Are we going to sit on the same position till when? This is what I want you to think. Drop your comments and don't forget to share this video. Follow us on our social media, afrobrasilink TV, and we hope to see you on our next podcast next week. And one thing, we are coming next week, Pastor. We are going to talk about the future of the leaders in Nigeria and the future of the youth leaders. What are we youth doing? Where we see Nigerian falling.
Wow.
Are we going to still sit and watch? Okay, so I don't know what about you. Please drop your comment.
That's a good topic to deal with. And I'm going to invite everyone to come sit next week as we deal with this topic.
Yeah.
And I'm going to also be giving some revelation, some depth. I actually am political with my words today.
All right.
Because there's a depth that if I go to right now, it will set some things ablaze.
But Pastor,
the secret that I know about what happened to Usman Danfodio from Benue, that he couldn't survive, he couldn't succeed to take over Benue and make it an Islamic region under the Sokoto Caliphate.
But Pastor, do you know that they have not stopped that plan?
They are still killing till now because you know why? Their father on his dying bed gave them a revelation about what happened to him when he couldn't succeed. He succeeded every other part. He came to Benue. Benue waged war against the jihadists. And he told them, in everything you do, make sure you take over Benue. Make sure you cross that part. And that's why they are still fighting us. They are still fighting us. Did you know that they made one of our own illustrious sons of Benue a big-time politician? Is he Audu? I don't know the titles to his name, but Audu was once the Minister of Agriculture or something. They were using him to collect lands. I beg, more high some things, more high some things.
Okay, Pastor, thank you so much. Yeah. Guys, please drop your comment. We need to hear from you. Guys, thank you for watching our podcast. We are still here on Hello Africa podcast, where we speak the truth raw. You that are watching, you're free to be our guest. Here, we leave it open because it's a free speech. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Guys, thank you so much, and see you guys next week on my next video. I'm still your host, Chief X. here, my pastor. Pastor, thank you.
My pleasure. Always a pleasure to be here on your podcast. And of course, as long as it concerns Nigeria and Christian values, we will not shy away from visiting the realities and telling the people what needs to be done. Nigeria will be great again. I believe in Nigeria. I am a Nigerian project. Nigeria will be great again. And with whichever way, yeah, even though I said I've told my church to stop praying for Nigeria and start praying for themselves to live above Nigeria problem. Because wahala, they finish. But of a reality, we still need to keep our prayer life active and intact. I believe in prayer. I'm a praying pastor. I'm a praying believer. I believe strongly in prayers. But when you pray and you don't know what to pray, you pray and miss. That's what the Bible says. Because your prayer is channeled to where it shouldn't go to. So it will not bring any effect. Praying for Nigeria right now, it has not brought any effect in 50 years. I can't keep repeating the same thing over and over. So that's why I told my people, stop praying for Nigeria. Pray for yourself to go above. All right? But prayer is still the answer and the foundation to all. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. And see you till next week. See you guys.